like the first person that contacted us, we're like, yeah, we do that now. And they're like, and they booked it in. It was $800, and we're like, oh wow, look at this! Like this is working.
Ding, ding, ding. Welcome to Jobber's Masters of Home Service podcast, where successful business owners share their secrets for making your business more profitable and efficient. I'm your host, Adam Sylvester, owner of Charlottesville Lawn Care and Charlottesville Gutter Pros for the last 15 years. I truly believe that service entrepreneurs need to come together from different service industries and swap stories, share tips, and learn from each other. By getting together and sharing each other's successes and failures, we can help each other level up. And that's the mission of Masters of Home Service. On today's episode, we are discussing adding new lines of service and how to package and price them. With me is Oscar Gill, owner of R3 Auto Detailing in Houston. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
And Kimberly Towers, owner of Red Rose Cleaning in Minneapolis. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Oscar, what do you think is most important if a listener is thinking about starting a new service? How did it go for you?
You have to really say, like, what are you going to prioritize in your business that makes sense? So, like, for us, we do detailing services. For a while, we actually thought about offering residential, like home carpet cleaning, because we have the tools to clean the interior of a car that has fabric. And we're like, well, we have the tools. We can literally go into a home, clean a carpet, clean a chair, whatever. Like, we have the exact same tools that we need to get the job done. Once we thought about it, we're like, okay, well, one call is going to be a residential homeowner that's asking about how do we clean all these chairs, and then the next one is a Toyota Corolla that wants to get their interior clean. So after a while, we're like, yeah, that's more of a distraction, not an opportunity, because that's like a whole different business that we'd have to start. So when it comes to us offering new services, it's like, what actually makes sense to add to our business that aligns and like kind of complements everything else that we do, instead of saying like, oh, we could do that, oh, we could do that, and we could do that. And then all of a sudden, like, you have all these like little siloed tools and products to do this one specific service, but like as a holistic view, nothing actually comes together in unison. So for me, it's like, make sure whatever you're adding, it's prioritized, and like, again, like it's like it complements everything else that you're doing, not like, oh, it looks nice, let's go do that.
That's a super good point, and that was me in the beginning. I got really excited, and I like see shiny things, and I want to do them, and I want to offer them. With the home cleaning, we just really wanted to make sure that system and process was down packed, and we could basically like do it with our eyes closed before we added anything else. So that's one thing I would really suggest, is just making sure that what you set out to do in the first place is being done really, really well, and then he hit all the points. Like, whatever you add, complement it. So for instance, we just added a new scent line a couple weeks ago. So room sprays, candles, diffusers. So that's something we can add into the homes and that our customers can add on to their service, but it doesn't distract from what we're doing in the home. It's just a compliment.
I love that. When we first started doing gutters, we added power washing about a year into it, bought the machine, had a whole 9 yards. And a year later we were done because it just wasn't the right fit. We made the same mistake a lot of people do. We just jumped in, and then a year later we had to scrap it all. So how do you know when the right time is? Like, how do you judge whether your core service is going to take a hit or not? Because you don't want your core service to take a hit. How do you decide?
If the service that you're providing, if it's going really well and you're making money and you've simplified it to the point where you're not working too hard to perform that. So like, our cleaning was down packed, our processes were down packed, and I got a little bit of an itch to want to do something else and be creative in another way. So I would just say making sure that what you have and set out to do is really a seamless process. You can start looking into what you can add on, but research in that area is super important. So that's something else I would highly suggest, is just researching in that area.
For me, I'm gonna just say speed, because like it's one of those things where like you really don't know what's gonna happen. As much as like you can plan or think what's gonna happen, once you actually get the ball rolling and you actually get customers coming in, that's when you're like, no, this is not actually what I expected to happen. So we have the skills, the tools and stuff. So that, okay, like people are asking for it, let's just do it. Whatever the case, let's just bring them on. And then once you actually book them in and you go through the trials and errors, and you're like, actually what we thought it was going to be, like, they're asking for a bit more. It's taking a bit longer. It's whatever. Just kill it. Like, that's it. Like, there's a day it's like, nah, it's just not working out. Just kill it off. We learned it didn't work out, and we'll just take that learning, and next time we do something, we'll take that learning and apply it here, and hopefully we don't make the same mistake. But to me, just speed. Like, add a new service, get the customers, get paid. Do we like it or not? Yes, keep on going. If not, just stop it. It doesn't make sense.
Give us an example of something that you have tried and it was successful.
So over a few months, we kept on getting requests from customers saying, "Hey, guys do smoke odor removal?" That's like a very niche service, and you don't see that very often in detailing. So it never crossed our mind to do that. So we just like, no, we don't. Like, we don't even have anyone that we can recommend. We just don't do it. Like there goes money walking out the door. So after a while, we're like, maybe we should actually like try this out. So we took a class, got certified, and it's not like this one is like a heavy volume of like there's just a bunch of. It's a very niche. Like every couple months, maybe someone asks for a smoke odor removal, but the ticket price on that one ranges between like $600 to $1,400. So little by little, just like the first person that contacted us, we're like, yeah, we do that now, and they're like, and they booked it in. It was $800, and we're like, oh wow, look at this! Like this is working.
Ding,
you know?
ding, ding.
Yeah, and that happens a few more times, and then at some point we had an insurance person. They reached out to us because their client, their house had burned down and some of that smoke got into the vehicle. The insurance was going to cover getting that smoke odor out. So that one contact, he sends us every vehicle that needs smoke odor removal, and it's been like over 10 vehicles. After just one dude that needed someone that he couldn't find anyone else, we were that provider. That's like a prime example of like trying a bunch of stuff, and then this one, like smoke odor removal, people were asking for it. Let's just try this out. And from there, yeah, it's been a great hit for us on that service.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Kimberly, what do you think?
Good for you. We launched a scent line. So I always had this idea that I wanted to do something else that didn't require us to be in people's homes. So I had to figure out a way that we could make money without having to physically go clean. It's kind of like a bottleneck for us. So everyone, when they have their house cleaned, loves a good smell. That's one of the things they say when they walk in the door. They just want to be like, like it smells good in here. It feels good in here. So I wanted to provide that. And on May 1st, we launched our room spray. It's called Room Bloom. And the idea is that when you spray it in your home, it feels like the red rose was just there and people are eating it up. They love it. I know that they love to support us and have the product in their home. And since it's branded with our logo and a little bit about us, they feel like they're supporting us and having us be, a part of their home and a part of their community without us physically being there. So it's been so awesome, and I love being able to not only have that in Minnesota and in the homes that we clean, but also be able to have it like nationwide now because we ship. So it's been really fun, and I'm trying to get it into car detailings or whatever.
You guys can talk after the
so
show.
we can collab. Yeah.
I love that. Something you also said earlier was that you also, and you don't sell these necessarily, but you have merchandise and hoodies and stuff because you said your friends want to support your business.
Yeah.
But not every friend can afford to have their house clean. And so it gives them an opportunity to support you and spread the word and share I like that. It's in the same vein of what we're talking about. I really like that. One thing that we've done with gutters is, we did gutter cleaning and some repairs and stuff in early on, but then we realized that the gutter a lot of times goes into this underground drain. And those get clogged. And so we added underground drain flushing to the services, which was a perfect match because if you clean 2 out of the 3, it's not really clean. One other thing I would say in terms of knowing when to start or do a new line is gauge the excitement of your team. If they're eager to do a new service and you're all on the same page, it's probably a sign that you're ready to move forward if you've checked all the other boxes.
And I love, with that being said, I love getting them involved in that and having them take some ownership over it. Like you guys had to do training and stuff like that. Like it wasn't just you. Bringing my manager along to help create the scent. Like she feels so much ownership over the scent and is promoting it, I think, way more than if I just went and did it myself. So kind of bringing your whole team into that training process, I think can make a really big impact on how you can spread that service to the community and get people to purchase it.
Oscar, earlier you said that you got certified, had some of your technicians basically cross-trained. Our listeners might be wondering, should I hire a brand new person just for this new line? Or should I try to use people who already have? What's your take on that? Like using existing resources? What do you think?
It was my partner that got trained and certified for that service. I think it changes when the volume gets bigger, right? Because then at that point you need a dedicated crew. So at that point it's like, well, do we decrease our other services now because now we're spending all this time on this one vehicle? My goal over the next 6 months is just I just have to learn. I don't know who's Do we have a dedicated person? Do we hire another one just to run the details, and then we keep these two people on like the bigger ticket items? So like my job in the next 6 months, like, okay, how do we optimize our schedule now?
If it requires equipment, try to rent that stuff because it might be a lot simpler or a lot harder than you thought. And thankfully, you didn't go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. To that point, like, and even you said it of like having your team included with it. So like the vinyl wrapping, car wrapping, however you want to call it. A big part of that is because the newest employee for weeks and months, he was like, bro, let's offer this service. Let's do it. I was like, all right, bro, like I purchased some film. I was already like wrap my car, like do the front valance or something. And he just like super excited, so and then like maybe a month later, I was like, I purchased another film. I was like, go wrap his panel now. Not trying to add it as a service, but you can just tell he wants to learn. He wants to do something.
If y'all want to wrap an Accord, I will drive. I will drive to Houston.
But to your point of testing things, that's like we like just panel by panel. Like, hey, can we wrap your hood? Okay, let's do that. Can we wrap his roof? Let's go do that one. Can we wrap that hood? Let's go do that one. And little by little, we're like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. This is actually kind of fun. But it really started from that individual, like having that fire, like he really wants to do something. He really wants to try it out. He's kind of been like the lead person taking it. Like we're gonna send him to get trained, and he's the one like super just like let's go. I mean, he'll send us videos like text messages like at 11 p.m. watching like videos on like how to rap, and it's like you can't train that. Like
that's what you
even
want.
if I wasn't, he would be doing that anyways, you know. So it's like I saw that opportunity. I was like, okay, well he's this is a perfect way to get into it.
This is great. Let's take a 30-second break, and we'll come right back.
I am not the earliest bird, but some of my staff loves a really early start. With Jobber, my team in the field has every detail of every job and their whole day right on their phones. Routing for the day, scheduling, job details while I'm still resting. It can be updated throughout the day. And my team picks it up immediately with little or no training. It was easy, it was seamless.
Smoother from start to finish. Quote, schedule, invoice, and get paid. Start your free trial today at jobber.com.
So, have you ever tried offering a new service to like a small set of some of your really loyal customers just to try things out? You ever tried that before, Oscar?
So on this one, like for instance, the smoke order one, what we had to do wasn't much different than what we were already doing. It was just like the process was a bit different. So on that one, first person that came through, all right, we're offering it. Like there was no like, let's go, we're offering it. Like we're doing it just because the
brand new customer.
Yeah, just we're doing it. Yeah, because the service that we were doing, like the smoke order removal, was already aligned to what our other services. So it wasn't much of a difference. So we already knew we could do the job. And with like the vinyl wrapping, that one, not customers, at least like the first iteration of like getting the reps in and just trying to get a bit better. That one is literally like our team's vehicle, just any panel, the roof, the hood, the trunk, the tail lights, whatever, just practicing on different panels. Once we actually offer that service, for sure, like we'll reach out to either some friends or like past customers that want that kind of service, and hey, look, if you just want to give us a try, it's our first vehicle. It might be free if they can give us like the vehicle for a week, or like at a very steep discount just to get the reps in.
Yeah.
Because with me, like what a new service is getting repetitions in, and the more important part to that is just trying to collapse the time frame of repetitions, right? Because if we can do 4 vehicles over 6 months, or 4 vehicles in a month, I'd rather do 4 vehicles in a month. That way we just turn around our experience much faster.
I really like shooting like little bullets and then the cannonball after you can take aim instead of just shooting the cannonball right off the rip and you lose all this money. Oh, that's no fun. What do you think, Kimberly?
Yeah, we tried to do carpet cleaning. So we were kind of in the position where everyone was asking us, do you clean carpets? Do you clean carpets? I kept saying, no, I have no recommendations. No. And I'm like, this money is flying out the window. So I'm going to just start saying yes. I'm going to find someone to subcontract to do carpet cleaning for us, and we're just going to go for it. The only test I did was I had them come into my small apartment and clean my carpet, which was extremely clean. I wasn't even there and I didn't even meet them. And then I was like, looks good, let's go for it. And it just didn't end up working. A lot of people did want the service, but in terms of like the amount of money I was making from it and the work I had to put in and the way I structured it, it just didn't work. And I did like put it out to all my customers right away. We put it on Instagram right away, put it in like a little newsletter to our recurring customers. We do offer this service, and it just ended up being something that I didn't put enough research or time into, and it kind of just fell flat. I would love to get back into it, but I would definitely want to like test the company more, look at numbers more, and just do a better job of research on the back end.
So you hired a subcontractor to do it. It wasn't in-house. Explain that more.
we were looking at doing the carpet cleaning, wanting to offer that service. I was looking at my staff and our time, and I was like, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. I don't want to go buy this equipment. I didn't even think about renting it, as you suggested. So I thought, what's the best way to do this? Let me find a company who already does this, already has a training, already has this stuff in process. I talked with the owner of the company, and they're great, and they do a great job. But the things I didn't consider, which I would highly suggest people consider when subcontracting, are insurance costs. So I have to pay insurance on my subcontractors. I didn't realize that. And then also if they align with like the mission and kind of core and culture of your company. So when my subcontractors are going out to my clients' homes, they're representing the Red Rose. They're no longer representing their company. So do how they act and show up and the way that they run their business, does that align with the way that we run our business? And that's a conversation that I wish I would have had in the beginning. I wish I would have almost done like an orientation, like a Red Rose orientation, brought them through the handbook and just ask those questions, because I kind of just like put it out there. Luckily, nothing went poorly. They were respectful and our customers did like them. And like I said, they did a good job, but I just don't think it aligned with who we were and what we were really trying to do. It was kind of in the beginning, just something I was like, I think we can make money off of this. Let's just go for it. I ended up like breaking. I didn't make any money over a whole year. So I made some clients happy, but that's about it.
You learned a good lesson.
I learned a good lesson.
So I actually feel pretty passionate about this because over the years with my grass business, my gutter business, I've had a lot of opportunities to do this whole subcontracting thing for various reasons. And I ultimately decided that I'm in the business of gutters and grass, not in subcontracting. I settled on that, and you know what? I'm not in the business of making money off of a sub. I would much rather say, ma'am, we don't do that. Here's who you should go with. They're great. Call us when you're done.
Okay.
It took me a long time to get there, and I made a lot of mistakes doing it. But I do think that for most of our listeners, that's probably the best way to go is, ma'am, we don't do that service. Yeah. But this company specializes in it. You know, that's what they do. Let's stay in our lane. They can stay in their lane. And I think, and 9 times out of 10, the client's like, oh, great. What's their number?
Right.
They don't even bat an eye. We're so concerned about losing clients, losing work, losing the referral. That doesn't happen. People don't think that way.
Yeah, and I think it's just a case of wanting to be everything to everybody.
Right.
And something my brother always reminds me of. He's like, Kimmy, what do you do? We clean houses, okay? So that's the first thing we do. And once you start trying to be everything to everybody, yeah, your hands get tied up in too much and you can just get lost in it.
And not only that, but not that we do that, like as far as offer a bunch of services, but there's a company in Houston that like they do roofing, landscape, electrical, pest control, plumbing, HVAC, and they're all in-house.
Wow.
But with that is like you basically have like 9 different businesses and like the amount of staff and like how many processes and like answering the phone and like the tools you need for every van and it's so ginormous that like you know it also leads to like simplicity, like this is all we do. Gutters and grass. For me, we just detail cars. We don't like paint. That's all we do. So it's like it makes it a lot easier to just run your business as well.
Yeah, I think that we have a lot of listeners who might have just started their business a couple of years ago or in the last 2 or 3 years. And it might be okay to tell them, hey, look, just stay strong, keep getting really good at what you do.
For me, 100%, it's like start off with the most basic things that you can, get comfortable, get experience, and over time, you add new services, add new whatever, just because you actually have that confidence in yourself.
Yeah. And I think just to like wrap it up, we started in the beginning talking about like that entrepreneurial mindset. Of course, we want to have our hands in all these different things and make money in all these different areas. But I think there's really such a value in staying focused and staying in your lane.
Yeah. If your business is unhealthy, adding more services will just make it more unhealthy. It needs to be healthy before you move on. Let's do a recap. So number 1, before adding new services, make sure it's the right time. Make sure that it's not going to take away from what you already do, and make sure that you've got your ducks in a row before branching out. Number 2 is test it out a little bit. Maybe rent a machine if you need a machine and stick your toe in the water and don't bite off more than you can chew. And then to talk about subcontractors, making sure that a subcontractor fits your brand, fits your values, is doing it the way you want it to be done. And if you don't have a subcontractor that can do that, then be confident in your own business to just let them go hire them directly.
Exactly.
This has been a great conversation. How do our listeners find out more about you guys, Kimberly?
I am at The Red Rose MN on Instagram and Facebook.
And to those that want to need help with their detailing business, you go to on Instagram. It's at Detail Groove. That's where you can send me a DM or anything, and I can help you out.
What about the podcast?
The podcast, my podcast is the Detailing Business Class Podcast, and you can find that on YouTube, Spotify, wherever.
If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe, like it, review it, do all that. It really helps other listeners find it as well. We'll see you next time.